says join. Let's see what happens.
Hey guys. Sometimes the best laid plans just have to be adjusted. So thanks for coming back. We originally were going to start this at 6 o'clock, and due to some technical issues completely beyond our control, we were just going with the flow. So we hope that everybody came back on today. My name is Jennifer Gillihan. That is Jason Domingues. Issues completely beyond. And you doing okay there, Jason? Control.
I'm doing fine. Hang on, we got a little feedback. Let's wait till that catches up.
Going with the flow. So we hope that everybody came back on today. My name is Jennifer Gillihan. That.
So do you have a broadcast playing somewhere?
Hold on just a second. There you go, now that I've muted my Facebook.
Let's make sure that's muted. Explain the timer too.
Okay, so the timer is, we're just going to, especially since the time change, we're going to just kind of chat for a while, let people jump on, and we will get into the real content here in 8 minutes and 48 seconds, to be exact. So be sure that you come in, leave a comment, let us know you're here. And if you have any questions for Jason, please leave those in the comment section below, and we will be sure to take care of those. For those of you who may not know me, may not know about the big reveal, may not know about Thursday Night Live, I'll kind of share a little bit just about how this all came about. I've been doing the big reveal since 2010, so this is its 7th year. And part of what we like to do about the show is really connect more with the brides and the vendors. And so Thursday Night Live kind of came out of a desire to show brides and anybody else who wants to tune in a little bit more about our vendors and get to know people on really more of a personal level. Because I really feel like there's been a trend in the industry, especially over the last few years, where people hire a lot more based on personality and whether they connect with the vendor than they have in the past. It's not just about talent or skill or style. It's all of that, but it's also about, do I like the person? And so that's what this is really about. And do you agree with me? Do you feel like that's something that you've kind of seen a shift?
Oh yeah, big shift.
Yeah. So tell us why you're here.
Well, I was asked to be here by yourself to start off this new show you're going to start doing on Thursdays. I'm kind of excited about it. I like to get to know people on a personal level. And it was pretty cool that you had this idea of obviously we're photographers or planners or florists or whoever you're going to have on the show, but you don't know our story. All you see is our portfolio and you see what we post on Instagram or Facebook, but you don't really get to know who we are. So this is going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and I think it's been fun because especially like the last year or so, I've really gotten a chance to go a lot deeper with a lot of vendors and really talk to them about their business, about what they like and they don't like in their business, with their clients, what kind of clients they truly enjoy working with, which I think matters. And, if we can kind of share our personality before we ever engage with people, they kind of know before they ever even show up whether your personalities are even going to jive well. So that's really what I'm looking forward to sharing through these Thursday Night Live. And it will be a combination of everything from every different kind of wedding vendor. I also have lined up to do some people that work in the wedding industry on a national level and to just kind of give us some insights into the industry as a whole. And I'm really looking forward to that. I think there'll be some interesting information that we wouldn't get otherwise. So
yeah. I love it. I know we got to wait for this timer to come down. I want to just jump right in and start doing this, but waiting for people to come on. And I mean, I know we had that delay but we'll just wait.
I shared with somebody just the other day that was talking about glitches at weddings. And I said, the sign of that you've hired a true professional isn't that nothing will ever go wrong. It's that you'll never know it. And I think if brides can keep that in mind too, like, you know what? I was a wedding planner for 10 years. I was a DJ for 20 years. And there was always something that went wrong the day of.
Yeah.
But the bride seldom ever knew it. And we've had everything from, you know, a cake artist who got in a car accident on the way to the event and or to load in, and overnight she went home and made 2 brand new cakes. And I, as the planner, didn't even know it until I showed up to the event and I was like, that cake looks good, but it's not quite what we had planned. And I talked to her on Monday and she was like, oh yeah, I had to remake it overnight. So, but that's just the sign of a true professional. That's when you hire the right people that you trust. That's how you can, on your wedding day, know that you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy it.
Make sure everything's fine. Yeah. Hey, Jen, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share this real quick on my pages. As soon as I can find where I can do that from the iPad. There we go. And I'll share it to my business page too. What's that timer say? I can't see it. How much do we have left?
We have 3:30.
Okay. I think we can go ahead and start. I think we'll be all right.
Yep.
All right. Let me pull this down, get it out of the way, and so I can see and have my notes too, right?
Right. Okay. I'm going to share too that part of the reason that I invited Jason to be my first guest on Thursday Night Live is really just about, he just has an aura about him that just puts you at ease. And I just met Jason about a year ago and have really, truly enjoyed just getting to know not just the photographer, which I've admired his work from afar for a long time, but getting to know you as an individual and tell people a little bit about just you as a man. Who are you? Where do you come from?
Well, just to start off, I grew up in a small town called Bristol, Rhode Island. Tiny town, surrounded by water. I was looking for a way out and walked by a recruiter's office and said, "How fast can you get me out?" And quick enough, they got me to Fort Sill, Oklahoma. The military brought me out there. I was in the military for about 3.5 years. My last tour was at Fort Riley, Kansas, and that's where I met my wife, Allison, and met her in 1995, a long time ago. I feel old now.
Army?
What'd you say?
Army?
Yes, Army. Yep. She was going to K-State at the time. Fast forward, we got 2 kids now, live in Prairie Village. We celebrate 20 years this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so it's basically a little bit about me. Yeah, I guess, what else did you, I missed the rest of the question on that side. Sorry. You blanked out on me for a little bit.
Kind of looking for your story. So tell me today, other than being a photographer, what are some of the things that you enjoy doing? What kind of lights your fire outside of the reason of us being here together, of you being a photographer? What does Jason enjoy doing?
Well, I love traveling. Long car trips are my favorite. Spending time with my family. If I'm not working, it's with my family. I play catch with my son every day. We're trying to break a record of continuous days playing catch. I shoot concerts with my daughter. And then my wife and I really love to travel. So, and we're actually planning a big trip back to Rhode Island in a couple of weeks. So,
how old are your kids?
11 and 13. But the 13-year-old, she's going on 26. Or at least
Why do the girls do that and the boys don't?
I don't know. My boy is just in the stage now that he's just baseball is everything and that's it. Baseball and watching YouTube videos about people playing baseball.
You know what? If you can keep that going until he's about 24, life is so much easier.
We'll see. Well, this is pretty cool. Actually, every time somebody comments, I see it on the screen. So I see Kate and Doug just.
Yeah.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Thanks for coming back. We appreciate it. So, okay, so you love to travel. Tell me, of all the places you visited, where's your favorite place that you've been?
Oh, that's like trying to pick your favorite kid. There's so many different places and reasons why I like it. Like New Orleans, because I have very close friends down there. BB and Corinne, Jamie and Heather are down there. Jason and Jamie down there. We've gone to Italy. We've gone all over this country. And as far as like driving too, that's our big thing. Like last year we took a trip all the way to San Diego, and then drove back through Vegas and back through Colorado and got to show the kids that. We're traveling east. This will be our third time traveling east, back to my hometown. And then in November, I go to a conference called Fearless Photographers. It's Fearless Conference. It's part of these guys here. And they have a convention in South Carolina. And I think I'm driving the southern route to hit that this year. So hopefully I'll be able to see everything so far, the whole country, except for driving to the Northwest. That's my next thing after November. So, yeah.
And Oregon are definitely a sight to see.
I've been to Oregon. I've been up there. I just haven't driven up there. And it's a completely different way to experience the country of driving. Flying, you fly in, it's city is a city. To me, at least, I've seen a lot of cities, but driving into the cities are a lot of fun.
Yeah, and not to stick to travel too long, but are you a family who sings together on the road?
No. We have singers in the family, though. My wife is a soprano, and my daughter's a soprano, so they sing. No, it's bad. You don't want to listen to that. It's not a good thing.
I'll save my On the Road Again and my Willie Nelson for somebody else. Then.
Yeah. Okay.
Those were our family road trips.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So obviously travel, baseball. Talk to me a little bit about, other than your family, what are the things that you feel right now inspire you?
See, this is the problem with live. You can't cut the kind of things. You just got to be like, go with it. Inspire me. Things that inspire me are kids, not so much just my kids, just kids in general, because they're fearless. They don't understand what embarrassment is yet. Well, my daughter does. My boy doesn't. Far from it. But kids in general, because they'll be able to attempt to do things and they won't understand. They won't be embarrassed about it. I know I just said that, but that's the biggest thing that inspires me right now. New photographers really inspire me. New ones that come into the game and push me. They're inspiring me to be better. Because you're starting to see, like, for instance, prime example, Core Creative here in town, Caleb and Kara, killing it right now. I know they're not newer, but they're newer to me. And they're pushing me to be better. Like, cause I see what's coming up going, oh man, I need to up my game. This is amazing. So yeah, I'm not scared of the new photographer thing.
Yeah.
You can come in all they want. It's plenty of work to go around. We're good.
Yeah. And I really, that's another shift that's happened, I think, in the industry for a lot of us over the last few years. When I very first got into the wedding industry 23 years ago, there was no, you didn't talk to your competition. You didn't share what you learned. I mean, it was, and not everybody was like that, but as a general consensus, it wasn't such a community of sharing. And I absolutely love the fact that that shift has happened. I feel like a lot of us, especially in the Kansas City market, I've heard it's not necessarily like this everywhere, but in the Kansas City market, it's such a community over competition industry. And I love that because there really, truly is enough business to go around. And if we can look at other people and let them challenge us by what we're doing, even, not to toot our own horn, but I love the fact that you and I are willing to just kind of be vulnerable and have the tech issues and jump in here and do this and make fools of ourselves. It's that courageous thing of you just get out there and do it and figure it out. Don't mind the motorcycle in the background.
It sounds like someone's sneezing anyway, so don't worry about it. You're fine.
Anyway, so yeah, definitely just kind of that courage before confidence of kids and new people in the industry. I like that. So,
yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about Jason, the artist.
I hate that. I hate being, I see when I look at artists, I think of Bob Ross, I think of I don't consider myself an artist. I consider myself lucky to get to do what I do for a living. And I get to create but I don't know. I don't think I don't put myself, there's photographers out there that are doing incredible stuff. I'm a wedding photographer. I'm a musician photographer. I don't like that title as an artist. I don't like to put myself in that category. There's art. I think it takes away from people that are true artists, that are true, to me, like starving artists, people that like want to suffer, for their art or like create this beautiful work. And me, I'm just recording life. And what's happening in front of me. It's not, I don't look at it as an art. I look at it as a documentary. I know the PJ guys are out there are cringing right now, but I am documenting what's happening in front of my lens, no matter what. But yeah, artist is no. I don't want to be called an artist. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I won't do that again.
No, it's not I can't.
It's interesting though. It's interesting that different photographers look at that differently. And I certainly would look at you and think artist because I've seen your work. And I do think you have a very unique style. You have a unique eye. I mean, it's a very different style from most of the other photographers in Kansas City and across the country. I think it's why people gravitate to you, I believe, because of your personality and because of the style that you have with your photography. So not to beat a dead horse with that, but it's very interesting to hear that you don't like to be called an artist. So,
and I'm not trying to be like cool about it. It's really, I think it just takes away from people that are true artists in their work and people that are doing what they're doing. Like Bob Ross, man. I mean, that's an artist, he's, I don't know. That's to me what an artist is, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So, okay. So since you don't like the term artist, talk to us about Jason, the photographer. How did you get into photography?
My stepdad gave me his camera or his dad's camera when I was 13 or 14. It was a Yashica Matte 128, believe. I can't even remember the name. I took it apart and took a picture of it, of all the parts and pieces, just so I can remember it. I just started picking up the camera and shooting things, and I did a lot of stringer work for different organizations. And then I just kept going, and I kept putting the camera down and picking it up and putting it down and picking it up. Like when I went to the military, I put it down for the military because I was just trying to get out of the rut that I was in. I knew that I had to change. So that's why I drastically walked in and said, first one gets me out the quickest, I'm signing with you. So they got me out. Put the camera down until I was in the military, picked it up again. That's when the love of it started going. And a friend of mine came to me and said, I've been shooting shows all this time too, like concerts and that kind of stuff. But as far as the wedding stuff, how I got into that, a friend of mine came to me and asked me to shoot his wedding, and I didn't want anything to do with it. Weddings were like, no, because you screw up, you're done. It's just, there's no do-overs. It's one shot and that's it. Finally said yes, showed up to his wedding, opened the car door, puked all over the ground because I was so nervous. Walked in, shot the wedding, and I loved it. And not loving it as in like, I love my job, I love my clients and love it. It's just, I loved being part of the high pressure of shooting, the high pressure of making sure, going after certain things and knowing that this is it. This is the one shot, you get it, move on. And it was film and you just didn't know. You can look on the back of the screen to know if I had it. I had no idea what I shot that day. Came home, sent my rolls off, got them back, and it started. That one wedding, those first people that first year that trusted in me for just showing them that wedding, I owe everything to, because it sparked this life that I live now. So, yeah.
So in a previous conversation, you had mentioned something about a particular image, kind of a defining image that you captured or saw. Talk to us about that, because you never really told me the whole story.
So I've told this once before in a class I spoke at like 6 years ago. I think it was a Smug Mug thing, and I haven't really talked about it since then. I've mentioned it to a couple other people, but I keep this little photo on my desk. It's a tiny little photo. It's a little square. It's on my desk just to remind me. So I had it blown up so I can show people here. This is just to give you a little bit of history of like this photo. So I was a concert shooter for so many years, and a photographer by the name of JMC, Alt F Photography in Vegas, knew that I shot concerts. And he had this one wedding coming up that was for the lead singer of Slipknot, Corey Taylor. I freaked out. I was trying to play it cool, but when he called me and asked if I'd be part of this, it tripped me out kind of bit. So fast forward to the day of the wedding, we show up and I'm in charge of the step and repeats. And I don't know if you can see this photo. Can you see it okay?
I can't, but I'm on a smaller screen than they will be. So there you go.
So this photo right here changed the way I look at everything in what I'm shooting as far as families, weddings, pretty much anything, because the reason why is this is called the step and repeat. Right. The guests would come in, step in front of this wall. They take the picture and then move on. Step, repeat, step. That's how they call it. Sorry for the basic instructions, but a lot of people don't really know what they are. So this is a picture of a couple that came in. You can see her tattoos are pretty kick-ass. They're well done, and the art on it is incredible. So I focused on her a little bit more, and I was talking to her and asking her about these tattoos. And he was getting frustrated with me because I wouldn't just take the picture and move on. And I don't know, I've never shot celebrity stuff like this before, like this close. So I didn't know the rules of interaction, and maybe I'm not supposed to talk or not. But so he's in this picture. He's getting frustrated. He said something. He just said something that made me mad, and I wanted to delete the photo because I was so mad. I was just like, you know what, screw you, I'm gonna delete it. And then the brain in me was like, not your wedding, don't do it. It's somebody that's important to them. So I kept the image, but if you see the image, this is Paul Gray. he's the basis of Slipknot. And I photographed Slipknot so many times in my life that I never really got a chance to see who the people were behind the mask because they wear masks on stage. So I really didn't put two to two together with him. And he's in this picture with his wife, and to make a long story short, he passed away a little while after this shot. If you can see that his hand is on her stomach, this is the only image of the three of them together in one photo. We're doing something that is important. It's not trying to find the best photo or the best light or trying to find. I know that's all important. I get it. To me, this is what wedding photography is. To me, it's family. To me, it's what's happening on. To me, it's what's happening. Yeah, right, Kate? I'm reading your tag. I'm trying to hold it back because this is a very powerful photo for me because it changed my world. It made me think, fuck you, Jay. It's not about you. It's about this couple. It's about the couples that you shoot. So yeah, this photo right here, it keeps me grounded. It keeps me, it's a basic shot. It's nothing important. It's not, but it's very important, you know, Tug. Yeah, I know, brother. You will in 3 weeks. This is what's important. So I want to reach out. I know a lot of photographers are out there, and I'm talking to the wedding photographers. We're doing more than just trying to be cool and get the perfect image and the award image. We're doing something that matters. And please, if you're starting in this industry, try and learn that as fast as you can, because this is what it's about. Yeah. So
I think the in the industry that have always captured me the most are the ones that simply by looking at them bring me to tears or make me laugh. And you have many of those in your repertoire. The first time I sat down and looked at your site, and of course, some of them, obviously, we don't even know the story behind it. So, yeah, I think that's a powerful knowing, especially for new photographers to realize that that's what it's really all about.
I'm sad that it happened, but I'm glad it did because it changed the way I look at things. A lot, not just in photos, just in general. The people that I allow in my life, life's short. It's very short, and it's not worth hanging around people that you don't like, you know, or you don't. Yeah. Sorry. I didn't think that was going to be that. I've told this story before. I didn't think it was going to be that powerful. I don't know if it's seeing it bigger. But yeah,
that's why we love you.
Yeah.
So tell me how, like we've talked about Jason the man and we've talked about Jason the photographer. How do you feel like that picture changed Jason the entrepreneur? Because it's a different role. And I think sometimes brides and new photographers and our families have a hard time understanding that we really play so many roles. It is the artist photographer. It is the man, the wife, the man, the husband, the father. And then there's an entrepreneurial side that's just business. And yet when you pull in this very emotional industry that we're in and put that much soul into it. Do you feel like it's changed not just your style as a photographer, but how you do business with people?
Yeah, I think it has. I mean, it's two different animals, right? So you have the one side is the photo side, which is a very small percentage in the business world. In the importance of the client watching or looking at those photos, it's very important. As far as the business side, it's different. The business side, the photography is just 5 or 10% of what the business side is. So I don't think the image, this has changed me as far as the business side. What's changed me for business is just not caring about what the industry says you should be. Yeah. We've had this talk, like we've talked about it, about it's, you know what, let me back that up. I know we're live and we can't cut it and back it up. Let me back it up. There are multiple clients for different kinds of photographers, right? There are the detail-oriented, perfect posed, lots of portraits, lots of details. They love their clients. Clients love them. They're in love with them. They want to be best friends with them, all that. Not me. I like my clients. I do have some clients that are friends of mine. But I'm not going to say that I love them and I care and I'm going to like say all that. It's just not who I am. I want to be good at what I'm doing. I want to be able to capture a wedding. I don't know if you guys can see these comments that pop up, but they're funny when you're trying to say a point. Anyways, there's just the business side of it. You had to take it and make it yours. So you had to understand how you want to work that business, how you want to do it. And I created this model of caring about the client and what they're doing that day. What's important that day is them getting married. The second thing is the family that's around them. Because it's probably the last time that this whole group is going to be together like this. So that's what's important to a wedding day. And that's what I think. I know I'm rambling here because Mike, that comment really, it was funny, but I couldn't get across what I'm saying. But hopefully I did. I don't know.
You did. So I'll lighten it up just a little bit. Tell me some of your favorite mentors, because we've been sharing these offline a little bit together of some of our favorites.
Favorite mentors. I mentioned John Michael Cooper. With Alt-F photography, he's probably my all-time top favorite mentor that has showed me that you can do things your own way. He shoots this kind of stuff here. He's based out of Vegas. He's probably one of the biggest ones that influences of showing me that you can do it your way and don't have to go by the rules. You can break the rules whenever you want. There are no rules. We win with Fearless Photographers. He created this, like I said, I'm wearing the shirt. I'm a big supporter of what they do. He's given people a big chance. You all right?
Yep.
He's giving people a big chance, especially on the stage, teaching about their stuff, and they're not speakers. He's reached out and said, this is how I'm going to do it. He's breaking the rules. He's not staying true to that rule. Chase Jarvis, for what he does, that man's everywhere. He inspires me to do more. I don't think I do enough. You look like you're in a wind tunnel.
Okay, well, nobody can see that except for you. Our little tech delay. My computer is about to go dead. So
well,
totally
just plug it in.
Everyone else except for you. I'm running around my house to get my charger for my computer.
This is the perfect example of live. The real stuff. The last one is my mother-in-law and my wife, Allison. I know that's kind of like, it's kind of, I don't want to be sappy about it, but I was a different way before I moved to Kansas City. Republican based, had my strict rules, like this, and this. And they've opened my eyes to a lot of things. Made me look at the world a little bit different, not just through one set of glasses, just multiple glasses. I owe everything to those two girls. Yeah, those 3, 4, something like that.
Okay, so now that I am plugged back in and we're not going to die, sorry for that. Sorry for being really distracting to you.
It's all right.
Tell.
It's a photographer friend of mine. We both own it, and we have about 9 artists in there from Ocean and Sea, Merit Made, Waldron Photography, Jason Domingues Photography, Tasha Vodarek, and Matt Adams, and Maura Coleman with Creative Films. So it's just this collection of people that I was tired of working alone. I didn't want to be in a basement anymore. I didn't want to be in a studio by myself anymore. So Rusty and I, owner of Waldron Photography, decided to get a studio together, and we found this huge space. It was way too big for us, and we decided to bring other people involved. And it's just been this huge. We do live shows there once a month. We've had some pretty cool acts come running through. It's just it breeds creativity. It's just a place you just want to hang out all the time. Yeah.
That creative energy of having a community, or kind of like I refer to it these days as kind of finding your tribe.
Yeah.
It's such a powerful thing, and when you don't have it, you miss it. And as solopreneurs, it's something that a lot of times we have a little bit of an introverted side. And so you kind of hold up in your own little space. And then when you get in that community again, you're like, oh, wow, I missed this.
Yeah. Well, it's like somebody said it best the other day. I was watching not a podcast. It was this coffee time that I listened to in the morning. It's this little 5-minute thing or 10-minute thing that pops up on Facebook every morning. It's Coffee with Dave. It started with Coffee with Dave, and now it's Not So Ancient Chinese Secrets, something like that. Dave's going to correct me if he's watching. He had somebody comment in, they were talking about introverts and extroverts. And people that know me and hear me talk, they automatically think I'm an extrovert. That's not true. I am like a 50, if you do the test, whatever test, I'm 50-50. I'm an introvert, extrovert. I'm a loud introvert, I think. And I heard that, and that's perfect. Yeah. Because I don't get recharged by being around a lot of people. I get recharged in long car trips, by myself. It's just this recharge that I get of being able to do that. So I would consider myself a loud introvert. I like that term. I'm gonna stick with it. Okay. It's mine. Cool.
So that's what you've got going on right now.
Yeah.
You also have some live music thing going on at Bonfire right now.
Right. We do shows once a month there. Artists call us, or we do it whenever artists give us a call and say, hey, do you have a time slot for this? And they're touring acts. We've had some pretty cool names come running through there. We've had some awesome local bands come through there too. Hembry, before they blew up big and too big for our space now, because there's no way we could fit everybody in there since they're selling out like Record Bar and stuff. But yeah, I'm working on another project called Midwest Stories. That's part of my driving thing. I drove from here to New Orleans and through Nashville and back, photographing some families and single people that are very important to my life. if you sat in front of that camera for a Midwest story, that means you're very important to my life. I'm planning on doing another one of those in November when I travel to South Carolina, photographing a few people out there. But yeah, I can't think of anything else offhand. I'm starting a headshot company. It's starting to roll and having a lot of fun doing that. Yeah, that's the only projects I'm working on right now. Yeah, only.
Any long-term things coming up for you, or is that kind of all that the creative brain has come up with?
You know, I've started to dial back on a lot of the stuff. Like I think I'm dialing back on concerts or shows. I'll still shoot local bands, but unless my daughter wants to start her own photography company for concerts. If she does that, then I'll continue doing it because it's still fun. But right now, I just have too much going on. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
If anybody has any questions, shoot them into the comments below and Facebook, and we'll throw those up. So far, it's just been a lot of people praising Jason, which is awesome. Thanks for showing him love and heckling a little bit, Mike. Anyway, but thank you, Doug, Jeremy, Mike, Kate, all of you for being here. I know I didn't get through everybody. Anything else that you want to share, Jason?
No, just keep doing what you're doing. This is great. I can't wait for next week.
Yeah.
It's Megan, right?
Yes. So Megan Julian with Julian Events is going to be our next Thursday Night Live. And we are also, if you don't follow us on Instagram, we're also doing Tuesday Instagram takeovers. So every Tuesday, we let one of our vendors entirely take over our page for the day and showcase a lot of their work. And it's a great way to just keep up with everybody in Kansas City and find some new stuff that maybe you haven't been exposed to before. So, Jason, thank you.
You're welcome.
And thanks for being my guinea pig. And to all of you that came back the second time, thanks for believing in both of us. And we'll look forward to smoother startups in the future. So, thanks.
All right. See ya. Bye.